I'm Nancy Williamson, and I'm an official Google partner, and I help small businesses get online using their free Google My Business listing. So today I'm just going to show folks that already have their Google Business listing how to use it and how to get the most out of it. I'm going to share my screen and go to my Google Business listing. Hopefully you can see this. The first thing a lot of folks ask me when they get their Google Business listing is, how do I get to it? So I want to tell you how to get to it. You can either go to google.com/business, or you can actually get to your Google Business listing by using your Google Maps bar or your Google Apps bar, also known as the waffle bar. So it's to the left of your logo icon. And it may not be in this order, but you can move these apps around so they show up in different places. But this is the app that you want to use, and it will take you to your dashboard. And also, this is what the Google My Business Listing phone app looks like. So you want to be sure that you go to your phone store and add that to your phone as soon as possible. Because you can do things like post on Google, and you can also respond to reviews and add photos and things like that using your phone. So it makes it very convenient. So I'm going to click on Google My Business Listing, and it's going to take me to all of my businesses that I help. And I'm going to go down to my business. And this is called the dashboard. So what I'm going to do is go through each of these items on the dashboard just to help you understand it a little bit better. So this is for the person who's already gotten their Google My Business listing and who's already been verified. So if you're not verified, a lot of these items aren't going to show up. So we're going to go through each of these items on the left side. These items, or the dashboard, will show up a little snippet of each one of these menu items. So it's super important that, that you kind of understand how to get into each one and access it just so you can help manage your business. So on the dashboard, you can go to create a post. You can start clicking on your free advertising credit. You can create that. You can click on your review form, which is super important. We'll talk about that later. You're going to want to click on this form and copy and paste it and send it to all your happy customers and ask them to leave you a review. You can also send it to your friends and family. Their reviews are just as important as others' reviews. So you want to be sure that you're very responsive to those too. And we'll talk about that later. You want to complete your business profile. My business profile keeps asking me to add a logo. It's been doing this for like 8 years, but I do have a logo on mine already. And then when you click on that, it'll give you other information. So let's go back to the home page. And then you can also just share your business profile. If you're not requesting a review, you can look at your insights. Just lots of great shortcuts on here. You can also add attributes to your business. If you're a Black-owned business or a veteran or a woman, you can add this to your business listing, because these are attributes that other people are looking for or that they're searching for, and Google has deemed them so important that that you need to add it to your Google Business listing. So be sure to add those as they are appropriate. Okay, so this is the home section. The next section we're going to go to, I think the most important section is the info section. So I'm going to go there next. Google didn't ask me, but I think that should show up next. Your info section has all the pertinent information about your business. This is where you make changes on your products and services, on your business name. If you change your name and you add services, sometimes people choose business names that are very limiting. So for instance, I chose Carolina Web Design, and now I also do business consulting. So I added business consulting. Some changes that you make on here might not show up right away. And some of them that are like big changes, like if you were to change your address, you may have to be re-verified for that. So just keep that in mind. It just totally depends on what you're changing. One thing that will show up right away, and that's super important, is adding more hours. So this section shows the hours that you're open every day, and the add more hours section would be, oh, I'm in the wrong part, would be like just exactly what it says. If you want to have access to these items, you can add that. Sometimes folks will come up to a business, and if they're closed and they don't have their calendar dates showing that in their Google business listing, their customers are going to be angry. So you want to be sure that if you're going to be closed, you definitely have that marked. Like for instance, you would want to probably schedule July 4th off, and you would want to schedule Memorial Day off or Christmas Day off. So you want to be sure that you keep your hours up to date as close as possible, so you can keep your customers happy. This is where you would add your short name, and the short name is just kind of a condensed version of your title. That's super important because once you have your short name, then you can actually, it creates a review listing, so you can send that link out to people to get reviews. So if you have an appointment software company that you use that people can automatically either create an appointment with you, like for a hairdresser, for an attorney, or if it's like for a cycling class or whatever, you can add those links to your profile, and that makes it super easy. Products and services, if you sell online, you can actually check out online with Google. If you sell products like hats or vases or cups or anything like that, you can add that to your Google business listing. You can add a picture of it and description of it, and then people can actually either check out on your Google business listing online, or they can be directed to your website to check out. So that's a pretty cool new feature that started out last year. So there's more information down here about the business. This is a super important section. This is the info section about your business, the description, and you get up to 750 characters. So you want to be sure that you can, that you maximize that. Don't just have a sentence about your business, but have 750 characters or as close as you can come up to with a description about your business. So that really helps you get found. So that's something that you can edit as needed, and you can always add to. You can add your open date. You don't need to. This happened to be my grandma's birthday, so that's why I added it, and I'm pretty proud of it. So you can add photos from here, or you can add photos from another section. If you want to add photos from here, you just click on it, and you can add photos from the inside, the outside, your exterior, things like that. So I'm going to go back to the info section. That's pretty much all you need to know about your info section. Another thing you can do, you can get started with free ad credit on this section. You can also close your business in this section. So some people come to me and they have like 3 or 4 Google business listings, and they don't know what to do. So this is where I can teach you how to combine them, how to turn some of them off. Super important that your listing is up to date, because if you have 3 or 4 businesses at the same location, Google can suspend your business listing. So people can certainly have more than one business at a same location, but they just need to differentiate in the address. So if you're all located at 228 Main Street, you just want to be sure that that's 228 Suite A Main Street and 228 Suite B, just so Google can differentiate that that's a totally separate business. If it's the same business, then you only want to have one Google business listing. So you'll want to mark the other ones as closed and just remove them. And this is where you would remove the listing. You wouldn't want to mark it closed unless it's closed, but you would definitely want to remove it. So this is some advanced information that we're not going to get into today, but mainly the info section has all of the information about your business. Super important, okay? Has a link to your website as well. This is the information that's going to pop up on your Google business listing when somebody searches for your products and services. So you want to be sure that it's as accurate as possible. So posting is super important. You would want to post on your Google business listing anything that you would post about on your Facebook page. So you want to have an up-to-date COVID information, and I haven't changed this for a while, so I'm going to just update that real quick on the fly, just so you see an example, because everybody should have this, even if they're not doing anything special. But you can say something like, I am COVID-19 vaccinated and can meet you in person or via Zoom, comma, I wear masks and sanitize my area between clients. You know, that's something super simple. If you're a restaurant, you might want to put even more information. I'm in South Carolina, so some of the restaurants here wear masks and some of them don't. I never know what's appropriate, but I take that very seriously, and I always have a mask with me. So if you do that, you definitely want to say that. But I don't require people to wear masks. So I like to update. I try to update weekly, and sometimes I don't practice what I preach. But some folks are really concerned and they don't know what to post about. And you can post about anything that applies to your business. If you have people that ask you questions, you can keep a running list of questions and just say, use that question as an intro to your paragraph, talk about it, and then go ahead and take a picture if you have any kind of picture that relates to it. And then definitely use your button to either, usually what I post about are classes that I'm going to do in person or online. So I would have the sign up button and it would go to my Eventbrite sign up link. Or I could talk about in my last post, I talked about one of the clients that I helped. So I had to learn more, go to his website. So since I do business consulting for small businesses, I try to help them as much as possible. So usually a lot of my learn more links aren't necessarily going to my website, but they should go to your website. So unless you're helping small businesses like I am. So you definitely want to use that as much as possible. I've got information about some meetings in here. I would use this more often if this was my only job. I also work for another company that I do their social media and their marketing, and I post on that frequently, a couple times a week. So be sure that you make lots of posts on your Google business listing. That activity will help you tremendously. Insights are super valuable. We actually, I hosted a Google meeting this last week, and it was kind of an intermediate class, and Stasia, the Google presenter, talked a lot about analytics. And at that point, a lot of my attendees checked out. They were really, it was just more than what they were used to. It was the in-depth part of, getting coding and adding it to your website and then reviewing it for which links work for more clicks and things like that. And usually with the small businesses I work with, they are like one person. They don't have somebody that's dedicated to do that. So that they get kind of lost when it comes to the Google Analytics portion. So I always try to comfort them by saying, don't worry about that. You have a Google business listing and that comes with analytics. And actually most website builders have analytics for their website. So, and the nice thing about Google Analytics is that it's like one-stop shopping. You use your Google account for everything, but don't freak out about it. If you did attend that last Wednesday and it was over your head, don't worry. It's over a lot of people's heads. And frankly, small businesses don't have time to analyze everything that they do. So it's nice to have this insights page for your Google My Business listing, and it tells you a little bit more about how people found you. So this is great. People found me in the blue section by discovery, searching for my products and services. Directly, they found me by typing in my name. I'm not sure what this branded is because I am not branded with anybody. But for instance, I work for Scott Hanner State Farm, and his branded section would be the State Farm part of it. So that's part of another company. So the direct would be when somebody searches for Scott Hanner's, and then the blue portion would be for when somebody searches for home or auto insurance. So that's an easier way to kind of explain that. This shows the activity that I've gotten over the last month. So this shows the views that I have. And it's interesting because I work with a lot of small businesses, and I'm an owner on their page just to help them. And for my sister's page, she is a beekeeper. And oh my goodness, she has tons of visits to her website, her Google business listing, and it's crazy. So that's something to keep in mind. You can always check your analytics by coming to your page. And then you can see how many people called you, how many people visited you using the directions, and how many people clicked to your website. So this is really good information. You have to have had your business on your Google business listing longer than 30 days really to get the most out of it. But I just helped an attorney this last week, and she's already had several, like 30 visits, and literally we just verified her page like yesterday. So it's pretty amazing. Some industries are just a lot more, a lot more needed than others, and legal services is definitely one of them. So it was pretty amazing. So reviews. Reviews are so important. You want to always reply to your reviews, and you want to ask your happy customers to leave reviews. So when you reply to a review, you want to be sure that you use keywords because those will help Google help organically help you rank higher, because somebody may be looking for those products and services, and if you've mentioned them again in a review, then that's going to help you show up higher. So Google takes into account how many reviews you've had, how many stars you've had, how long it's taken you to reply, and what your reply says. So there's a lot of things going on. Also takes into account what the other person says. So if they just leave you a 5-star review with no words, then that's not as helpful as somebody at least saying something about your products and services. So, but hey, a 5-star review is amazing. So it doesn't really matter what they say, in my opinion. If you're getting that kind of feedback, that's great. So that's the review section, and that's your homework. If you have not checked your review section, please go to the review section and check it. So that's one of the things that that I stress. Reviews and posts are so important because Google wants to see that activity. Messages is an option that you can have. Not all businesses have this. I have turned mine on and then I've turned it off. It doesn't really, my business phone number comes right to me anyway, so I'm a really bad example. But I just worked with an attorney this morning, and we went ahead and turned hers on because she gets her messages through her phone and she doesn't want to miss anything 24/7. So if she's awake, then she has it and she can respond to it. So that's really important if you're a small business. It's also super important if you have your cell phone with you, that you respond to those. So that just makes the customer service experience so much better. So messages is something you can have. If you don't want it, that's fine. With State Farm, we're not allowed to have it. So, so just be sure that your industry allows it. Photos, this is where you would add pictures to your Google business listing. I received an award this year, so I've got that picture. Anything that's pertinent. I've got my logo on there. I've got my, I've got like a cover. You can change your cover. The more pictures, the better. You can't have enough pictures. I did a face mask fundraiser for a local food company. I've got some beautiful models, my children. So I posted a lot about that, and that really helped me. This is me working with some friends at State Farm. This is me with some of the workshops I do, and that's my husband. So post things that are important, that are relevant. And if you have a dog or a cat in your office, please use them because they're wonderful fodder. They will get the most reviews and the most hits than people. So it's really funny how that works. You can see how many people have looked at your picture by this little number in the corner. And it's interesting because most of my pictures are related to a link. So I'll post about something and then I'll add as many pictures as I can. You used to just be able to add one. Now you can add several. But there is one of these pictures that got a ton. Like this one got over 1,000 views, and it was just Clemson face masks, and it was in one of my posts. But I'm in Clemson area. I'm in South Carolina, so people really like that picture of Clemson face masks, which is funny because it's not even my business. It's just something I did on the side to help the local community. So that's really funny. You know, the super important pictures, like my award, I only got 14 views on. So whatever, it's all good. But post as many pictures as you can. These are pictures of reviews that I had, and that's a whole nother class, but I can show you how to turn your reviews into nice graphics too that you can post, and you can put them on your website and on your Google business listing. So products is a great category. This is kind of new. If you sell cups, hats, a physical thing, whatever that thing is, if you sell that online, you can now use your Google business listing to sell it. So folks can list all their products, and they can either check out on Google or they can check out on their website. Doesn't matter. So I think that's pretty awesome. I do websites for small businesses, and there is never ever a free option for commerce. So this is a free option for commerce. Now you still have to pay credit card fees and things like that. There's no escaping that, but this is a free option to get your products and services online through Google. And that's pretty awesome. That's amazing. So I would take advantage of that. And plus, it's going to show up on Google. It's going to help with organic SEO. There's no wrong answer for that. Services would be things that you do. This is what I offer. I offer hourly consulting and website design, internet marketing service. I'm a consultant. So those are things that I do, and I'm able to list those. So that helps me get found. So So now we're going to go to website. So any services you have, you can add more information about it. You can add more detail about it. This is great stuff for you to update when you're getting started and you have some downtime, you know, see if you can just add more things to it. You probably do more things than you've listed yourself for. So be very specific, because you can, you know, somebody might be hunting for that very specific thing. So websites, I have a website outside of this, but you can have a free website, absolutely free, through your Google My Business listing. And it doesn't have a ton of bells and whistles. There's only a handful of themes you can choose from. Like I can go to themes here and I can change this. You can see how it changes. Ooh, I like that color. You can see how it changes the color. So there's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 10 choices, which is not a lot of choices when it comes to web design for fonts and colors, but they make it work. They make it very clean. They don't want people to get they don't want them to get overloaded with, you know, trying to make a decision between a million different options. They make it very simple. So I think the color that best matches my logo is that one. So you would pick that. And then, oh, you'd also have to save it. You always have to hit the little check mark to save everything that you do. And then to create the verbiage on your website. I've already done this a couple times because I've done it in training, but this is how you would do it. You would just copy and paste. Basically, you'd fill this information out and copy and paste from your Google business listing that you've already done. Or a lot of my customers have a Facebook business listing that they've filled out, but they've not really filled out their Google listing. So we'll take that and we'll use it and we'll edit it. This is something you can access 24/7, and you can update it all the time. So you can't do a ton of things. But one thing you can do, like since this is a quote, I could come down, I could select it and I could italicize it. Since this is kind of a title for my next paragraph, I could come down and bold and underline it. So there's not a whole lot of options to it, but it does really help. You can make bullets, that's helpful, kind of sets apart your information, and it works. So you can also say something like, please follow us on Facebook. A lot of times folks don't update their website like they do their Facebook. You know, Facebook's kind of like an instant feed, like people are on that all day long. So it's nice to have a link to that so people can see the pictures and stuff that you're doing, or if you're doing like a charity event, they can see throughout the day what's going on. So it's nice to have that link there. And you would just select you would actually just select the word that you want to be linked, and then you would hit link, and then you would just paste the URL, and then boom, you have the link. Also, you want to put your contact information. Even though Google already has it, it's always great to have that at the end of your Facebook page. So all of your information from your Google business listing is going to go ahead and show up here, which means at the very bottom, it's going to have all of your updates that you've had recently. It's going to have all of your reviews show up instantly, like an instant feed. That's amazing. There's no coding involved. It just automatically shows up there. And then your testimonials, it's just, wow, that looks like a great testimonial. Your testimonials will show up, and that's awesome. People can automatically see those. And then this is what I just bulleted that. And then I just bolded that a few minutes ago. So that's live. Now, you want to be sure, if we go to this site, you want to be sure that it doesn't take away from your full site. So this is the site that was totally free through Google My Business. Since I've added that, and you certainly should do that if you don't have a website, that's a wonderful option. But if you already have a website, and you click that, it's going to update in your information that you have a different website. So thankfully, since I've done this before, I've already have mine. It knows that I already have another website, but I would still take advantage of the free services, especially if you don't have a website yet. Some people kind of don't appreciate the value of a free website. They think, oh, it's free, so it's not any good. But that this is my full website, and so it links to that still. But that free website with all of your posts and all of your testimonials right there is amazing. And you should definitely take advantage of that if you're getting started. Even if you have plans for a big website and you don't have it created yet, you definitely need to go ahead and get that free website. You saw how quick and easy it was to create. So users, if you have other people on your team, you can definitely add them as a user. If you notice, I have 3 Nancy Williamsons that are owners on my Google My Business page. And that's because I have 3 different Google listings, or not Google listings, but Google accounts. And I want to be able to access my business listing no matter which account I'm in, so I don't have to log in and out of. So this is where you would add your personal account. For instance, if you have a business account and a personal account, you would definitely add your personal account as a user. And you can just start typing in your name and it will show up. It will usually show up. So I've got several emails out there. So I've got my social club email and I got all kinds of crazy things out there, but then you can choose a role that you want that to show up as. But if it's someone that's working with you in your office, you don't want to make them an owner unless it's like your partner, your business partner. You can make them a manager and they can still post and they can still access your analytics. Only make owners of your page, or somebody that is just their job is social media for your business, because the owners can actually delete your Google business listing and remove it. And you don't want that to happen accidentally. I mean, it would be hard to happen accidentally, but it could happen. So that's how you would add users. Everything else on this is a little bit more complicated and it's a little more like step 3 rather than step 2. So it's more advanced, but it really is easy to create an ad through Google. You just click on the button and you let Google walk you right through it. You can do that from here, or you can do that from the dashboard. And it literally will walk you right through it. So don't be afraid to do ads through Google. I always stress the organic search engine optimization, posting, asking for reviews, responding to reviews, adding photos, adding videos, having activity on your account, because that will help you in the long run. But creating an ad, if you have a very competitive industry, an ad, you can test the waters and spend your $100 credit on it and see how that works. But please remember to focus on all the organic SEO before you jump into ads. I don't know if everybody will agree with me on that one, but I think that's super important and a smart way to start. Add new business would be if you have another business that you own. You can add that if it's in the same address. Be sure to differentiate the addresses. Like, for instance, I have a little side hustle. I also do personalized custom embroidery. Same address, but if you add like a suite A or suite B, that will differentiate it enough that Google won't automatically suspend you. So if you have a duplicate address on your businesses, you'll get suspended and your account won't work, and you don't want that to happen. So if that happens, you can actually ask for them to reinstate it, and you just go in and change the address, and it's super easy, but it's not automatic. You have to physically go in and ask them to do that, and I'm happy to help you with that. So adding new businesses, this link will get you back to the original page to see all the other businesses, and then you can get all the ad information too down here. So this stuff is a little bit more advanced, but I hope that this helped you with your Google business listing. I hope that it helped you understand what you can do with it, and I hope that it made you less afraid to get in and play with it. So your homework really is to create posts and add pictures to your posts and link back to your website. Or a call me button. You also need to ask for reviews. And if we go up to the home dashboard, we're going to look on that review section, share review. You're going to click on this and you're going to copy and paste that to an email to all of your clients and say, hey, I'm trying to get more awareness about my business. Would you mind leaving me a good review, or tell me about your services, and hit paste. And as long as you make it easy for people, they will be happy to help you with your reviews. So I hope this was helpful. Your homework is to get more reviews, to post, and to add photos, and call me if you need any help. Thanks so much.